In my last tutorial, I shared with you guys how to draft and cut this beautiful dress you can see on the screen. This is the thumbnail on that particular tutorial. If you haven't seen that, you want to click on the description box so you see the link and move over to that particular video and watch it before you continue with this one. So guys, you can see my pattern on top the table and my fabric is on a fold of 2. I also have my lining underneath and I have interfaced the lining and the actual fabric with hairstay and paper gum. Now my pattern is placed on top of them and I also made use of my pins to hold them down in place, as you can see me trying to show you. Now after this, the next step I'm going to take is add up my seam allowances. So for the upper part, I'm going to be adding ½ inch. For the side, I'm going to be adding ½ inch as well, and then for the down part, I'll be adding 1 inch. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do all around the patterns, both for the center front, the side fronts, and also the back block. So what I have right at the upper part is the front block, and then the down part I have the back block right there. Now guys, if you remember clearly, I stated that I'll be adding 1 inch to the down part. Inside this 1 inch, ½ inch is for increasing this pattern, and then ½ inch is for joining the upper part to the down part. This is because this pattern has a way of looking very short. The half lengths always look very short after drafting it. Okay, so I usually increase it by ½ inch before adding my ½ inch for the sewing allowance. I hope you understand. Now after doing that for the center front, I'll repeat the same thing for the side fronts. Now to the side fronts, I'll be adding ½ inch all around the pattern, but for the down I'll be adding 1 inch just like the front. Now for the side seam allowance, I will add up 2 inches. Now after that, I'll move over to the pattern we have right at the down, which is the back block. Now for this back block, we have our zipper allowance already. So for the zipper allowance, I'll actually add just a little seam allowance, which I'll be using to like turn my lining. Okay, I'll be adding ½ inch right there. And then for the upper parts, which I'll be using to join my yoke, I'll be adding ½ inch. For the down parts, I'll be adding 1 inch. And then for the side seam allowance, I'll be adding 2 inches. I've added all of them and you can see it showing on the screen. Okay, now after this, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, which you can see me doing right now. Now you see this biro that I used, please, is not our regular biro. This is an erasable biro, which is called a fabric pen. But if you don't have that, you can make use of your pencil, your fabric chalk, or whatever you can lay your hands on, as long as you are doing this on the back part of your fabric. Okay, you have no problem with that. So now you can see I'm trying to cut out all my pattern. After cutting it out, I will go ahead and show you guys the next step to take. So guys, we are done with the cutting out on fabric. Remember that I actually cut out both the lining and the fabric at once. Now I'm going to have to pad the center front and the side front. So we are going to take out the back, and then I'm going to be doing this with my hairstay and paper gum. I won't be using wadding. I don't like using wadding to pad. I don't know why, but if you usually make use of your wadding to pad, go ahead and make use of that. So what I will do is to fold my fabric into 8. So if you take a look at what I did right there, I folded into 2, folded again, making it into 4, and then folded again. Now after this, I'll go ahead and cut it out. Can you see what I just did right there? Please note that the center front should be on folds. Okay, please, it should be on fold. You can see what I did. So now whatever it is I am trying to cut out shouldn't exceed the under bust points. So you can see I just raised it up and I'm going to cut out from there. And yeah, this is it for the center front. Okay, now I'm trying to open up some parts that I didn't cut well. And yeah, so let me count it so that you guys can see. I have 4 pieces of this just because of the way I folded it. So you can see this is number 3 and this is number 4. I usually use 4 pieces to pad it. Okay, so now after that, I'm going to also fold again the same way I folded for the center front. That is the same way I'm going to fold. So you can see I folded into 2, folded again, making it into 4. Now I think this is going to disturb me, so I'm going to cut it out. Now after cutting it out, I will go ahead and fold it again. Okay, so I'm trying to arrange it and then fold like this again. So if you notice, this is exactly the same way I folded for the center front parts, just that for this one it has to just be in pieces, into 8 pieces, but the center front has to be on fold so that we have just 4 pieces. So you can see the way I placed it. Now after placing it, make sure you arrange it properly and then you go ahead and cut it out. First of all, it shouldn't exceed the underbust points. Okay, I've cut out the underbusts, and then here I'm trying to cut out the upper parts, and after that I'll cut out the sides. Now after cutting out this side, next I'm going to remove my pattern from it. Okay, now I'm going to remove it, and please watch carefully how I'm going to curve it out. So you can either leave this in a straight form, like just cut out in a straight form, but here is how I like to curve out my own. Okay, I'll just cut straight down to the underbust point like this. Can you see? So now if I count this, you will notice that I have 8 pieces of it. Okay, so 4 will be going to the left and 4 will be going to the right. So you can see I'm trying to count it for you guys to see. I have 8 pieces of it. So now after this, I will probably repeat the same thing for the lining. Okay, but for the lining part, I usually use 3 pieces, not 4. 3 or 2 pieces is enough, but if you want, you can also make it 4 pieces for each. Okay, now we are done with that part. I will go over to my ironing table and then use my steam iron, or any iron that you have, use it to gum it into each part of the front piece. Okay, now after this, here is my yoke, and this is the chantilly lace I'll be using. First, this is my front yoke, and I've folded my pieces into 2. Make sure that the center is on fold. Okay, and you can see I'm trying to use my pin to hold it in place. And then after that, because this net is not stretching, okay, the chantilly lace is not stretching, so I'll be adding seam allowance. But if you are using a net, please do not add any form of seam allowance, because you know that net stretches. So as you can see, I'm trying to add up my seam allowances, half inch. And please note that this is because this chantilly lace is not stretching, right? I added all my seam allowances. I'm done with the front. Let's move over to the back. Now for the back, I'm going to be folding into 4, so 2 for each of the side. Okay, I want to double my back, but the front is just on a single fold because I want the front to be transparent enough, while I want the back to be strong because I'll be adding a loop for my buttonhole. Okay, and I also want the back to have a neat finishing. I don't want to use bias to turn the back, and most especially because it's going to be having a loop, I don't want to use a bias to turn that part. Okay, so you can see I've added all my seam allowances, and then here we go. This is the center back. I also added half an inch right there because you need to turn that part as well. Okay, so guys, I am done with this, and you can see this is what we have. This is the front yoke and the back yoke. All right, so guys, we are done with the up part. Let's move over to the down part of the dress, which is the skirt part. Now here is my pattern. I've cut it out on my actual fabric and the lining. So the lining is 1 inch shorter than the actual fabric, and this is for my fronts. Now here is the back. I've added my zipper allowance for the back, and please, I also added my sewing allowance, which is side seam allowance for both the front and the back, and the lining for the back is also 1 inch shorter than the actual fabric. So guys, now it is time for us to start joining them together. You can see here is my center front and the side fronts, and I have padded them. Okay, so let's put this aside first, so we work on the yoke. Now I'm going to remove my pattern from the yoke. Here is the front parts. I'm going to open it up, and then I'll be bringing in a bias, which I'll be using to turn the neckline. Okay, it is so simple. Just sew from the outside, which is the right part, and turn it over to the inside. Now after doing that, let's move over to the back. I've removed the back pattern, and then I'm going to make sure that I arrange it properly. So for the back yoke, first of all, I'm going to turn the neckline. Okay, you can see how it's supposed to look. Turn the neckline, top stitch it, and then turn the center. Can you see? Now for one of the yoke, you're going to input your button loop. All right, just get a pieces or a bias and sew in a button loop into it, which you're going to use to hold your button at the back. Now after that, here is how you're going to be joining the center fronts and the side front together. You already know how to do this. Just make sure that the right side are facing each other, and then you're going to join using 1/2 inch. After doing that, you're going to repeat the same thing for the lining, and then for the back, we are going to leave it for now because we are going to turn it with our yoke at the same time. So you guys, I am done joining the center front and the side front. You can see what the inside looks like, and you can see how this bust is standing. Okay, now we are going to have to join our yoke into the front parts. Can you see? So I've already turned the neckline of my yoke. So what I'm going to do is ensure that my yoke, the right side of my yoke, is facing the right side of the bustier, and I'm going to ensure that the middle part aligns properly, and then I will use my pins to hold it. Can you see what I'm trying to demonstrate here? Use my pins to hold it all around the upper part of my bustier. Can you see? Just work with your pins, and please, you have to notch the middle. Before you do that, you have to notch the middle of the yoke, notch the middle of the bustier and the lining. So after that, I'm going to turn it with my lining just like I showed you. Okay, and once you are done with that, go ahead and turn the side as well. So guys, here is the back. We are going to make sure that the zipper area are directly opposite each other. Now after that, go ahead and bring in your yoke and place on the part that your yoke is supposed to start from. After that, placing your lining on top of it. Repeat the same thing for the other side, placing your lining on top of it as well. And then after that, I'm going to stitch it up using 1/2 inch. Okay, and then equally turn the sides using just 1/4 inch. All right, so we are done with this, and this is what we have. Now I'm going to go ahead and place the two back on top of each other, making sure that the right side are facing each other, and then I will go ahead and mark out my zipper allowance. Remember, my zipper allowance is just 1 inch, so I'll mark it out. After marking it out, I will connect the points together, and then I'll move over to my sewing machine, stitch it up using a loose stitch, and then iron it down so that I will have my zipper allowance line showing on the fabric. Okay, so after doing this, next I will go ahead and bring in my front piece so that we'll be able to join the side seam allowance together. So you can see I am done with this, and this is what I have. Now I'm going to go ahead and place in the front on top of it, as you can see me doing like this. Now after that, I'm going to ensure that the middle part matches each other, which is the middle of the front and the middle of the back matches each other. You can see I'm trying to use my pins to hold it, and after arranging it, I'm going to come over to the bust point. I'll divide my bust circumference by 4, mark it out on one side following the middle, and then I'll divide my under bust circumference by 4, mark it out, and I'll move over to the waistline, divide my waist circumference by 4 and equally mark it out. Okay, now we are going to move over to the other side so we can also shape that, because we've only shaped one part of this. I'll come to my waistline, divide my waist circumference by 4, mark it out. I'll move over to the under bust, divide my under bust circumference by 4, mark it out. Come over to the bust points, divide my bust circumference by 4 and mark it out. Now after this, I will go ahead and join the side seam using a tight stitch following the lines that I just marked out. I'll move over to the shoulder. Now for the shoulder, I'm going to be stitching this using 1/2 an inch. Okay, so you can see the way I'm trying to show you, that is exactly the same way I'm going to sew it. Now I am done with that, and you guys, this is what we have for the upper parts. And please, while sewing it, I did not sew down to the waistline completely. I left some little space because I'm going to join the down part from there. Now here is my skirt. I have torn the skirt with my lining, and this is the back of the skirt. I've marked out the zipper allowance, and I'm going to stitch it and join the both front and the back together. So this is what I have on top the table, as you can see. All right, and you guys, I'm going to open up the zipper allowance of the skirt, as you can see, and here is equally the slits. You can see how neatly finished this is looking. Now I'm going to join this to the upper part of this dress. Okay, so now here is the upper part. Now I'm going to make sure that I notch the middle of the skirt and the middle of the upper part, and I'm going to ensure that the right side are facing each other while doing this. After that, I will stitch with 1/2 an inch. I'm going to stitch them separately, and after that I will join the side seam together. Okay, so guys, I am done with this, and this is what we have. This is exactly how to sew this beautiful dress. You can see that it's actually very simple. And now I have also sewed in my zipper. This is the zipper. I'm going to open it so that you guys can see. You can see that making up this dress is so simple. But now guys, I'm not going to use the same sleeve for this particular dress. Okay, I have already made a tutorial on how to achieve the sleeve on the inspiration, but for this one I'm going to use just a straight sleeve using this chantilly lace. I hope you find this tutorial helpful. If you do, give it a thumbs up. I will see you in my next one.